Wahgwaan FPL. I said there now. It's the wrap up, week 6. But before we get into that, man, got 81 points. I'm very happy about that. If y'all are struggling with your team and y'all need some player, watch the videos, man. I make these videos every week. The wrap up to help you out with your team. We got a lot of players inside. We got players that's been performing. I'm going to show you what I mean. We got players that's in form. I'm going to show you what I mean. Like I said, this is the wrap up, week 6. Let's get into it. First wrap up of the day. Brentford versus Manchester United. Brentford 3, Manchester United 1. For Manchester United, we got this striker on the list. It's not in form, 4.7. Form for me is anything over 5. So that's why I said he's not in form. But he was able to get an 8-pointer in that game. But let's look at the Brentford players. We got a striker that's in form. Thiago, that's what I mean. Triple strike right there. He's been performing for that team. He's in form with a 5.5. His price is 6.0. He was able to get 2 goals in that game. You got midfielders that's been performing for Brentford. Anderson and Shea, double lightning strike. And you got the goalkeeper right there, double lightning strike. Not in form, but his price is 4.5. If you want to just put him on your bench, or I mean, if you need a cheap goalkeeper to put on your bench for your team. Let's look at the next wrap up. Next wrap-up of the day, Brighton Hove Albion versus Chelsea. Brighton Hove Albion 3, Chelsea 1. For Chelsea, we have a midfielder and a defender that's been performing for their team. Enzo looked like he should have more lightning strike because in some game, he get a goal and an assist. So you see that he's in form, 6.5 in form. His price is 6.7. For Chelsea, we got a defender that's not in form, Reece James, but he was also, you could see that he's performing. He was able to get an assist in that game. For Brighton Hove Albion, we got a midfielder that's in form. 6.6 in form. His price is 5.9. Double lightning strike. He's also been performing and he's in form. And you can see that we got Goudart right there that's performing, but he's not in form. But he's performing for his team. You got Welbeck right there. He's not in form, but he was able to get 2 goals in that game right there. Next wrap-up of the day. Crystal Palace versus Liverpool. Maybe it's time to drop Salah. Because we got Gravenberch, that's in form right there. 7 in form right there. His price is 5.6. So you know that, and you see the double lightning strike. He's been performing to the team. We got Chias, he's been coming off of the bench, but maybe you never know, you could put him on your team. He could come off the bench and get you a goal. Remember, it's just a goal you need. Double lightning strike, the boy been performing. For Crystal Palace, we have Sarr. Sarr got triple lightning strike. He's not in form. His form is 4. But like I said, it's anything over 5. He might find his form for I might get out in it because he's been performing for Crystal Palace. You got Guru. He's in form. 8 in form. And he's also been performing. His price is 4.7 if you need a defender for your team right there. And you also got Kimada. He's not in form, but he's a 5.0, but he's been performing for his team. Next wrap-up of the day. Leeds versus Bournemouth. Leeds 2, Bournemouth 2. For Bournemouth, you got Simeon. Boy, been performing, man. 4 lightning strike. He's in form, 6.8, price 7.7. You got the defender right there that's been performing. He's also in form, 8.2, price is 4.8. So look, from Bournemouth, you look like you could get a midfielder and a defender right there to stack on your team. For Leeds, you got 2 of their midfielder that's in form. But you could see that they not been performing, but they're in form. You got 2 goals. You got Longstaff with a goal, and you got Rando with a goal right there. You got the price is 4.0, and for Longstaff, his price is 6.0. Next wrap-up of the day. Manchester City versus Burnley. For Burnley, you got a player that's been performing. 3 lightning strike, and also in form, a midfielder. Anthony, 6.2. His price is 5.6. You got the defender. He's not in form, but he's 4.0. You might want to put him on your bench or take a chance in certain games with him. But let's look at the Manchester City players. Allen. I think by now everybody should have Allen on their team. You could see that the game week 6, and he got 5 lightning strikes. So that means only 1 game he didn't perform in. Only 1 game. You also got Doku on the list right there with 2 lightning strikes. I think he's another player that might need to have more lightning strike because in some game he get 2 assists in that he been performing. You could see that he got 2 10-pointer right there. So you know he's been performing right there, Doku. He's in form, his price is 6.5. So maybe at Manchester City, you have a striker and a midfielder that you need to have in your team. And you could see that in Manchester City, you also got a defender on the list. Next wrap-up. Sunderland versus Forest. You could see it's all Sunderland players. All of them got lightning strike. And all of them is in form. The defenders in form. Midfielders in form. The goalkeepers in form. So if you need some players, maybe Sunderland is where you need to be stacking up at. Look at the Sunderland's players performing. Next wrap-up of the day. Tottenham versus Wolves. 1-1. For Tottenham, you have Sarr and Polina. Both of them with lightning strike. Both those players, midfielders players, look like they're performing right there for Tottenham. None of them are in form, but you could see Polina, he's getting to form. He's a 5.5. For Wolves, you got Bueno. He's a defender. He's not in form, but his points is 4.4. If you want to take a chance, he might be a differential if you want to put him on your team. Next wrap-up of the day. Aston Villa versus Fulham. Aston Villa 3, Fulham 1. Fulham, you got two players that's been performing for Fulham. They're not in form if you want to take a shot with them, but like I said, they've been performing. A goal and an assist. For Aston Villa, none of their players in form, but they've been performing. I mean, they got all goals if you want to look at them right there. You got cheap defender, you got cheap midfielder, and you got Watkins on the list. Next wrap-up. Arsenal versus Newcastle. Arsenal 2, Newcastle 1. For Newcastle, you got Ultimate. He's been performing. Double lightning strike. He's in form and his price is 7.1. And you also got the midfielder on the list. For Arsenal, you got Rice. That's been performing. But he's not in form. But you got Gabriel. He's in form. 6.5. His price is 6.2. So maybe at Arsenal, maybe he's the defender that y'all should be getting for your team because he's in form. But look at that. Maybe he's the midfielder that y'all should be getting. Not Saka. Maybe Rice is the one that y'all should be getting for your team. Next wrap-up of the day. Everton versus West Ham. When I was making this right here, man, I was like, what if we are making a mistake? What if West Ham is where we should be looking at? Because look at the West Ham. Bowen, triple lightning strike. Doof, 4 lightning strike right there. You could see that Bowen is in form with 7.2. A striker that, if y'all need a striker for your team. 3 lightning strikes. So maybe it's Allen and Bowen y'all should be having for your team. And Doof. So maybe your team should be, because you could see that in certain clips, I show you players that's in form. So you could let's look at it. So we could say, okay, we have Manchester City, we could get Allen, we could get Doof. So that's a striker and a midfielder right there. We could also look at Sunderland. We could get a goalkeeper right there from Sunderland. We could get a midfielder right there from Sunderland and a defender from Sunderland. And we could get Bournemouth because we also have a defender and a midfielder right there. So you see that the midfielder will be good and we start having defenders. And we would have 2 strikers because it would be Allen and Bowen as a striker right there. That's what I'm going to say. I'm going to make a wildcard video for y'all, man, and show y'all maybe who y'all need to add for your team. So your top form for your wildcard, if you're thinking about your wildcard, for your top 3 striker right there, we could have Bowen, Ultimate, and Allen as your striker. For your defender, we could look for Bournemouth for that defender. I think is Sessi, I think that's his name is. We could look for him. Then we could get Doof, and we could also go to Sunderland to get another defender and get that goalkeeper Roof from Sunderland. So looking at that right there, that's 8 players right there I just gave to y'all. 8 players for your team. And what we need is 11 players. So you might just need to pick 3 more players to put on your team, and then you could do whatever you need to do with your bench. But that could be a wildcard team right there y'all need to put on your team. All right, for Everton, we got a midfielder on the list, Garner, right there with double lightning strike. He's in form. And we got Keane, that's also in form right there, if you want to think about players right there. And like I said, man, thank y'all for watching, man. This is Wahgwaan FPL. This is a wrap-up. I said there. You done know. Yeah, man.